Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for another edition of Your Vote Matters, an EMTV election awareness program. We've been talking to political party leaders to learn something of their policies and platforms. Last week, it was the Prime Minister and PNG Party. Today, it is the leader of the opposition and parliamentary leader of the PNG Party. Thank you, Belden Namah, for joining us.
Thank you, Mr. John Eggins.
Okay.
Thank you for this opportunity as well.
Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. We'll go into a lot of things a little later on. You've entered Parliament in 2007, yes. And during that time, you've been a member of Parliament, you've been a minister, you've been even a governor for a short time, yes. You've been opposition leader, you've been deputy prime minister, you've made governments, you've made prime ministers, you've broken them as well, you've been controversial. The ultimate thing is you haven't been prime minister, and that's something you want to be. We'll talk about that a little bit later on, all of that. But I want to first of all touch on the PNG Party's convention that you had just completed. Tell us about that, the attendance, and the members you're endorsing.
Thank you, Mr. Eggins, and thank you, Papua New Guinea. I'm sure a lot of listeners will be listening in. The party convention was really good. We had a party convention at the Hilton Hotel. We ran the convention for 3 days, basically getting all the candidates to come in, register, and then we ran through the policies and also, of course, the constitution of the party. Okay. And we did everything we could, and then we allowed the candidates to go into their provinces so that they get to know each other. And eventually, we concluded with adopting the constitution of the party and also the policies of the party. Okay. And then after that, we had on the third night we had a small fundraising dinner. The next day I had a dinner with all the candidates.
Okay. Okay. So how many candidates is the party endorsing?
Well, at the moment, we have engaged with about 80 candidates.
80?
80. Wow. And we also got some pro candidates, maybe about 7 to 10. Okay. That we are running in various seats throughout the country.
That's the safety catch, eh?
Yes. Yes.
What about females?
We got some female, about 5 to 7 females we are supporting. Okay. Yeah. I think about 2 as official candidates and the other 5 as our pro candidates. So we make them a very special exception into the party. Okay,
very good. What about the party meeting the requirements of OLIPAC? OLIPAC, I think, wants political parties to be believed and to be followed in the country by voters as well as leaders, aspiring politicians. Yeah. Are you meeting all the boxes? Are you ticking all the boxes within OLIPAC?
Yes, of course, Mr. Eggins. The party does its annual returns almost every year to make sure that we conform with the requirements of the OLIPAC. So yes, we meet all the requirements of the OLIPAC, and that's why we're still around.
Okay, yes. Okay, it's 80 plus, it's a lot of candidates, and how confident are you that of that 80, you'll get some, and what's the magic number you're looking for?
Well, to be quite frank, I'm very serious about this.
You've always been a serious person.
Very serious about this election. I think in the last 2 elections, since I became the party leader of Papua New Guinea Party, after I was entrusted the responsibility by the founding father, late Semekere Morauta, I've never got personally involved in selecting the candidates since 2012 election and also in 2017 election. But this time around, I'm personally involved in the selection and in making sure that we do our research on the candidates. Okay. So if you're talking about confidence, well, me like talk also, lot talk we also, me got strongly believe, also by me winning some good candidates. I'm very confident.
All right. Well, what number? What's number you're looking at?
Well, you see, if you look at the statistics, in 2012, PNC won 22 seats. That was the highest. And PNC was invited by the Governor General, of course, under the current legislation to be to form the next government. And I did win some seats, about 12 to 17 seats. And then again in 2017, PNC won the highest seats. That's about 27. So I'm looking at around 30.
Okay.
If I can do well, maybe 35, 36.
Okay.
I'm looking around. And with a selection of candidates, I'm quite confident. I'm quite confident of mastering the number.
Okay.
I know the country is focused on Pangu Party and PNC with the former Prime Minister Peter ONeill and the current Prime Minister James Marape. And I respect that. But you watch the horse race. Sometimes you bet on the favorite, but there's always an outside horse that you cannot count it out.
Okay, okay. You've worked with the two leaders, and you've worked in government with both of them too. But now they've become prime ministers at different times. Are you prepared to work with both of them should that need arise?
Well, you see, in Papua New Guinea politics, it's a land of the unexpected. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
That's a common, saying goes. I'm enemy to none. I'm enemy to none. Every time you hear me speak on the floor of Parliament, it's basically on accountability, transparency. I got no issue working with Peter ONeill. I got no issue working with James Marape for that matter, or anyone. Politics in Papua New Guinea is like, today you are in bed together, tomorrow you break marriages, and next day you find them, sleeping together on the same bed again.
Married again.
Yeah. So, for me personally, I have no issue working with either of them.
Okay. Who would you like to work with?
I think right now, because Peter ONeill and I have been in the opposition, and we've had that traditional relationship in 2011, 2012, during the impasse. I think that's more stronger, I would say.
Okay.
There's a stronger relationship there.
Okay. All right. I just want to get on to your PNG Party's policies a little bit quickly. First of all, one of the strong points that the party has is, and you always speak about it, is God first. You are a religious person.
Yes.
God first. We are a Christian country, stipulated in the Constitution. We're already Christian. Why God first as a party policy?
Well, thank you, Mr. Eggins. It's the same question that you would ask. Why amend the Constitution to declare PNG a Christian country? When the preamble number 4 of our Constitution is very clear on the nation's position as a Christian country. So there is no need to amend the Constitution to declare PNG a Christian country. But this is a totally different policy platform. And I see that as one of my number one policy platform that I want Papua New Guinea to know. And this particular policy, why God first is this. We preach to be a Christian country, but do we actually live up to what we preach? So this God first policy is based on the principle where we have to empower the churches, especially in the education sector and in the health sector. The church-run schools and church-run hospitals. Yes. And also the church-run colleges, health colleges, and church-run educational institutions. So the concept of the policy is like this. PNG Party, if given the opportunity to form the next government and I become the Prime Minister, I want to amend the Constitution to ensure by law that 1/10 of our national budget is set aside and given to the churches for church-run schools and church-run hospitals.
Yes, yes.
And the way we do it is, I want to take out the religion from Department of Community Development and establish a Ministry of Religion. And
on its own?
On its own. Ministry of Religion and Department of Religion. Why claim ourselves as a Christian country when we cannot have a religion on its own?
Yes, yes.
That stands out.
Okay.
And when we do that, we give this 1/10 of our national budget to the Ministry and the Department of Religion.
Okay. Well, okay, let me just, you give 1/10, but today the government and consecutive governments have allocated funds for religious purposes. As it were, as a country today, Mr. Namah, we are religious. We are a Christian country, as it were. But all the international indicators point to Papua New Guinea as a country that is almost un-Christian, with law and order, with corruption, with inefficiency, with all the negatives. A Christian country with all that on one side, and a terrible country with crime and all this on the other side. How do we arrive at that?
Well, it may be complicated, but it's simple. When we allocate this 1/10 to the churches, we will promote in every educational institution, in every church-run health institutions, that they teach Bible.
Okay.
They teach Bible and make Bible the fundamental subject in those institutions. And the idea I'm trying to drive at is to change the mentality of our people. The mindset of our people. Yes, we say we are a Christian country, but we are not really practicing it.
No. Yeah.
And if you look at the Bible carefully, from Genesis to Revelation, there's a book in a chapter and the verses in a book in the Bible, in Old Testament, the book of Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 to 10, where God uses us one challenge. It says, return to me my tithes and offerings. And you test me and you try me. If I may not throw open the floodgates of heaven, there won't be enough space in your room to fill the blessings that I'm going to pour on you. And it's simply that. You see, it's not going to be only beneficial to the mindset of our people, but also beneficial in the economic sense. Yeah, I just want to add a bit on that particular policy. You see, when we have the Department of Religion, we will ensure that the body that's going to oversee the running of that department and the management of the 10% is the Council of Churches. Okay. And the secretary of that department, and we'll make it a policy decision and make it a law, that the secretaries will only come from the churches, the clergymen.
Not from
outside, you know. And you bring somebody from outside, and it's prone to corruption. And 10%, we are not talking about small money here. No. We're talking about big money. For example, it's 22 billion kina this year in the national budget. So 10% of that is 2.2 billion. And if we put people from outside to become secretaries, that's prone to corruption. So but if we get the clergymen, like for 3 years we have Catholic bishop has been the secretary. Then we rotate. Okay. Then the next time it's the United Church Reverend, and the next time it's the SDA pastor.
So it'll be legalized.
It will be legalized. Yeah. We will amend the constitution to factor for that and to cater for that, and we'll make it a law. There's nobody else except the clergymen from various, mainline churches to be able to manage.
Okay. We're talking to political party leaders to spell out their policies and platforms. I think this is a unique one for the PNG party, at least, that you will make sure that there is almost a department created and a ministry created for that.
Well, I can guarantee you and then guarantee to the people of this country, God willing, and I become the Prime Minister, I will amend the Constitution to ensure that this is captured, and no successive governments will be able to change it, because we got to ensure that we give what is rightfully God's.
Well, seeing you and hearing you have been for the last couple of years, we don't doubt that. We don't doubt that, as it were.